This is Christopher Tarantola. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. We are doing career mode and we are shooting for the moon. We're not shooting for the moon, we are shooting to fly by the moon. That's our goal. No contracts or anything to do that right now, but you get quite a bit of science and money just for this, for achieving that. And it's a good goal to have, and honestly, I don't want to have to grind. I've done it too many times now. I don't want to have to grind the science out in the beginning. It's just, honestly, it's not fun for me anymore. I want to get to the point where I'm going places and I'm making bases and stations and that kind of thing. So I'm going to try and get there as quickly as I can and go from there. So this craft was very stable and very successful at achieving orbit and then some. This might even be capable, just as it stands, of getting to the moon, but I am going to shore it up a bit. I'm going to add these, struts here for the sake of stability, and I am going to add back science. Science. She blinded me with science. I wonder, do we have the little... We do. Oh, okay. I'm definitely going to use this. All this junk that's been thrown on the side of my capsule can now go in there and be aerodynamically sound. And I can even just put one of these, try and center it. There we go. Okay, and then I'll put 4 of those in there. And if we're gonna go all the way to the moon, we're gonna need those batteries. And what else? What else? We go back to science. Get a couple of mystery goos. Just 2. Oh, this makes things so much easier, just being able to be aerodynamic. There we go. All right. I'm actually going to put it down here. I think it'll be better. Much easier just to see and to right click on. Now see, if I go shift, I can turn it at 5 degrees at a time. I can have a 45-degree one. And that clipping, it's not going to really do anything, so I'm not even worried about that. Okay. So we'll close this. I wonder, do we have solar panels yet? Those are kind of important. We have radiator panels. I could even have, I have non-momatic, so I could stay in orbit a lot longer, but I don't have solar panels, so I can't recharge my batteries, which is unfortunate. So we're not going to be taking any trips to the moon until we get those solar panels, but we can definitely get a lot more science out of space than we have right now. this will be the kinship 3. And since Valentina has her experience, we'll go ahead and we'll put Jebediah back in the seat, just so that he can get some experience too. Okay, here we go. So far. It's a good looking rocket. Go ahead and get these set up and shut down. So that way, when I run out of solid fuel, I'm ready to go on that. Start my gravity turn. I'm turning it like this is so that as long as I'm on my program, this strike. I did too aggressive a turn, so I didn't even make it into the but, and I also have more weight on this than I did last time. So what I can do is I can do this one. It does have a sufficient thruster weight ratio, but it's not efficient in the atmosphere. And that'll do. It'll do. So I might need to add some more rocket boosters if I'm going to continue with this setup. I also did a nifty little thing where I click the light button and it'll open that up for me. But I don't want to do that yet because that's just additional drag that I don't need. And we don't have our maneuver nodes yet, so I'm just going to have to eyeball the burn, the orbital insertion burn. Right, so that's why you see a rocket when it goes up and it starts to arc instead of going straight up. It's because you have to go sideways to go around the planet and not up, right? And when they say orbit and insertion burn, well, once you go up, then you got to do another burn to insert into orbit. And it might not be around orbit. It might be that they do a burn to insert into a large elliptical orbit, such as to go to, say, the moon, or just to be in geostationary orbit, which would be, at least in this game, about right. Yeah. So we've reached space, you know, because you can hear the music. You notice I have a yellow line. We're already pushing the limits of the distance for the comm system that I have. I could always put that secondary comm on there, but that's not necessary for us because we got Jebediah holding her steady for us. Okay, but we can go ahead and open that back up, and we can start performing science. I think we've done most of the science in low orbit though already, or at least low space. Might not have been in orbit, but in space low. Yeah, so nothing new there. What about this? Did we already do this? Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, maybe not. So I'll keep that. And we're at 70. Alright, so I'll go ahead and burn. Alright, and we're waiting for that little parapsis to show up, and then I'll right click on it, and it'll, if I right click and go away, it'll keep it there for me. Alright, so we are in orbit. And so now the question is, do I want to just go ahead and go into high orbit? Do I have enough fuel? I think I do. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Go ahead and F5 it, just in case I don't. Go up to 300 this time. And we'll warp there. I just lost my communications ability, so I can't send in. I have to keep all my science experiments at this point. Okay, I'm above 250, so I'm in space high, above grasslands. There are some grasslands, but I can get some more science now. Keep that. See, unable to transmit, no visible receivers in range. So if I do the crew report, I just got to keep it. It's on this side, yeah. Got test beep. And log temperature. And we'll keep both of those as well. I still can't EVA because I haven't upgraded my astronaut complex. And I can hit the light switch and close that up. And then I should be approaching apoapsis at some point, and when I do, I'll lower my perapsis to go back into the atmosphere. And I'll call this a successful flight, wouldn't you? We're right at 60 kilometers. When we get back in the atmosphere, we're going to be going a little bit quicker because we went a little bit higher. But that's okay because we can slow down with the engine and be just fine. And I'm going to turn it this way so that when we do enter, we'll be facing away from the planet with our door, which just makes sense to me, I think. And we'll warp back in the atmosphere. One thing I did not take into account is my attitude. Not that I have a bad attitude, but certainly not a correct attitude. My spaceship, at least. Valentina's got our Jebediah does. Look, he's happy. He's a happy camper. His attitude's great. Right, so we're going about 25 meters per second. We could easily just enter and not do anything, but since we have the engine, we're going to go ahead and blow it. Go ahead and go above my prograde to not to, well, I do want to slow down. I don't want to go shallow, so I want to keep a nice long arc. For the sake of slowing down without burning up, and having that nice long arc gives me more atmosphere in the upper atmosphere, which is where you want to do a lot of your slowing down. And so it's just better that way. Time warp. We'll wait till we start to see atmospheric effects, which will happen right around, I think, 50 kilometers. I think after this episode, I'm going to go have lunch. I'm kind of hungry. Okay, there's our atmospheric effects. So I'm going to go ahead and stopped last time because I had reached 0 ellipses, so I was guaranteed to hit the ground one way or the other. Ocean right about here. There's the kiss. And bingo, throwing it right out there. Told you. Hee hee. Told you. Okay. Starting to hit the atmosphere. Slow it down so I can actually control my attitude a little bit. we're at 1350, so we should be safe from overheating anything. I have this here so I can see my critical temperature. So the Science Junior is the thing that if something was going to blow up, it'd be the Science Junior first. And it's about 35% of the way there, which is not bad. You need to start getting worried when you get to 60, 70, 80%. Then I'm starting to worry that we're doing it now. We're blading off our heat shield, but only at 0.02 rate, which I don't know, per 0.2 what per what, I don't even know, but I know enough to know I have 200, and that's not very much, and I'll probably end up with like 198, 197 later total, because we are already slowing down enough to where the ablation is negligible, and so therefore we didn't really need the heat shield, but I always like to have it there because you might need it. And it's better to have it, not need it, than not have it, right? Do a little, some sideways thing to make it to where we're slow down some more. Do it a little bit earlier at 5,000 just because we are a little bit heavier. Let's get slow us down some more. We are at 120% atmospheric efficiency, which means we're at terminal velocity and slowing. And we're going to have yet another splashdown. $50 meters, 25, 10. Cover that vessel. Great, okay. 94 science earned. Next. Got a bunch of funds back. Great. Science data from the space around Kerbal. We can get that done. Fly by the moon. Yes, sir. Alright, now we have a reason to do a launch site. Mark 16 parachute in flight over Kerbal. 2 to 8, 80 to 270. That's definitely doable because that's where we would normally do it anyway. Do a drogue shoot. 4 to 8. You do that. And we got some good science here, so we should go and spend it. Right now, I want to spend it on fuel systems. So we can get the fuel duct and the larger 1.25 meter tank. And that's our and we're spent. Okay. we're gonna leave it there. I'll build the next one, and we'll try and make it to the moon on the next round. I know I said that last time, but you know, you got to take baby steps sometimes. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching so much. Again, leave comments with suggestions and ideas, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye now.